Well, the other big story of the day, new legislation and a development authority will be introduced this year as the government changes its oversight of the Christchurch rebuild. The Prime Minister told 500 business people today that the Greater Christchurch Regeneration Bill will be introduced to replace Cera's special powers. John Key says in an effort to speed up anchor projects, a new organisation will also be set up.
The government will continue to control parts of the central rebuild, but it's a move that has the full support of the City Council. While Cera's powers are mandated to the end of April 2016, there will now be another 5 years of transition until the council takes over full control of the city's rebuild. Called Regenerate Christchurch, the new entity will be enacted in law later this year, replacing the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Act, which came into force after the earthquakes. The decision derives from a report by Cera's recently established Transition Advisory Board, chaired by former Prime Minister Dame Jenny Shipley. Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee said today he would oversee the new entity. In effect, the new entity will have a smaller remit than Cera and would focus on the rebuild of anchor projects and the precincts in the CBD. Today, Prime Minister John Key said there will be an opportunity for further engagement with strategic partners, and public feedback on the new entity will be open until the end of July. The Mayor says another 5 years of Crown governments on the city's rebuild is a good thing.
I think it's great news for Christchurch. What it means is that we're able to sit down and work collaboratively with central government about what the next steps are going to look like. Quite excited about the idea of moving from recovery to regeneration. That's a step change for the city, so it's a great thing. Council and government, neither one nor the other can do it on their own. And I think an expression that I've been using to kind of judge things by is, what's best for Christchurch? What's best for Christchurch? And I think having council and government working hand in hand, that's what's best for Christchurch.
Also today, Minister Brownlee was on hand to announce its favourite builder, Fletcher Residential, will help develop the $800 million East and North Frame residential precinct. On the eastern boundary of the CBD, the development will build 940 new townhouses and apartments accommodating up to 2,200 residents. And next, Fletcher Residential will purchase 7 hectares of land in the area between Manchester and Mandurah Streets, from just north of the Avon River down to Lichfield Street. Brownlee says the completed construction could take up to 9 years, but the first homes are expected to be complete within 18 months. Its expected construction will begin in November this year, but first up, public spaces will be created in the frame before the end of the year. The properties are expected to be sold for between $400,000 and $900,000. Brownlee says the move is expected to bring more people into the CBD.
A significant part of that was closing up the area of the CBD and making an effort to get more people living close into the central city to create that sort of dynamic that makes cities all around the world very exciting and livable.
And the Mayor agrees.
I think that's going to be great, and it's going to have a real significant combination of housing options. So townhouses ranging from, I think, 400,000 to 900,000 at the swanky end of the field. But because they're all part of a sort of a development that will happen over time, I think that's also going to be really good for the city. The more people that live in the city, the more vibrant and exciting it's going to be.
Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.